What's happening, everybody? It is Monday. Time for the next surf report from Jason. Me. It is time for creating inventory monthly sales spreadsheets. Spreadsheets. They're exciting. No, they're not, but they're a necessary evil, and it helps give you a feel from where you're at and where you need to be going, so you can see in an instant what your sales are. So we'll wait a few minutes till everyone gets in here. I'll click myself on here. Hey, how's everybody doing? Okay, so here's the deal. I hadn't created one for something like this in a long time because I've been using my same one forever. So last night I sat down, did it all from scratch to make sure I wasn't rusty, and hey, it all works. So it should be easy. And like I said in the post, once you get it, it's easy. Plus, once you set it up, all you do is copy and paste and copy and paste. So you set up your template for the month, and then at the end of the month, you duplicate the template, make it the next month, and then all the equations are there. So no, Mandy, I will not be doing anything about uploading. Most people watching today have never even touched a spreadsheet. So I take that back. I am going to show a little bit of an upload at the end to get your Amazon monthly fees, especially if you're just doing merchant fulfilled. So I will be doing that a little bit. And Gail, how to account for returns. Now, I don't have too many returns, so I really don't pay attention to them all that much, which is not the best business practices. So we're not going to be talking about returns today. This is just your basic numbers, your basic sales, your basic costs, your eBay fees, your PayPal fees, and stuff like that. So yes, you should keep in track of your returns. If you have a lot, I have so few that I end up reselling anyway that, but it's one of those things where I could take my own advice and be a better businessman. So, all right, how many people we got on here? 34. All right, cool. All right. As usual, I know not everyone can tune in at any, there's 500 of us. So the chances of us finding a day when all 500 could tune in live, impossible. It would be impossible if we had a group of 10. But because I try to have group chats with my admins, and that's impossible. And there's 12 of us. So I try and mix up the dates, the times, and so everybody has an equal opportunity of watching something live. If you've been with me for a while and you've never seen anything live because of your schedule, please hit me up. I don't think I'll do any in the middle of the night, but I do want to make sure everyone has the opportunity to tune in live. So, let me know if I'm missing your window. So, Pam, you read it wrong. You thought it was 1 p.m. East, so you just figured you missed it? Is that what it was, Pam? Pam was texting me as I was trying to go live. She's like, so, Jay, what do you think about... I'm like, can we talk about this after the webinar? All right, and then those of you who don't know Lola, if Lola would raise her hand there, Lola is my lovely assistant. She's my Vanna White. She's going to copy and paste all your questions in a little chat for me so I can see them. Now, today, this will be different than the most. Usually, I kind of save the questions till the end. This one is very much going to be a how-to step-by-step. So what I'll do is as I kind of go through like maybe a couple procedures, I will then pause. I will look over here at the questions. There's Lola. And whatever Lola has for me, I will take a look and see what I can answer, because obviously it'll be pertain to what we just talked about. So that'll be the flow of today. So without any further ado, if we have no start off questions, let's get it on, shall we? All righty. So let me show you the end product, and then we're going to build it together. Okay. So here is my monthly sales. It shows the date, the item, the cost, the price it's sold for, if I charge shipping, what the actual shipping costs were, and then a total. And that total is not done by me whipping out a calculator. It is all automatic. And then, as you can see over to the side, it breaks it all down, so it keeps it right at the top of the screen, easy to see. Oh, I'm not even sharing. Sorry, guys. Let me start again. Hey, that's the proper screen. Sorry about that. So this is what your finished product's going to look like. And we're going to actually input my PayPal fees, my eBay fees, and my Amazon fees in for the month of January. I waited for you guys to do that. And then inventory is going to look like this. And as you can see, we have all these tabs down at the bottom here. And I like to break out my items into like groups because it makes it much, much easier to find stuff than if it was one just gigantically long inventory sheet. So that is what we're going to be doing. Mandy, I was assuming you were mentioning the fact when I hadn't clicked on it yet, so sorry about that. And Heather, we'll have to work on your phone. Definitely easier on a computer, but I was just watching Margaret Collier live on hers, and I was chatting from my iPad, so it can be done. We just have to work with you. So you will be my special project. All right, so let's get to it. Now, if you have Excel, you're going to want to open Excel, and all the operations I'm going to teach you work the exact same in Excel or Google Docs. As I've said many times, the joy of Google Docs is it's free. And it's free that you can access on any computer, on any mobile device from around the world. So if you're gone for, say, 2 weeks in Europe in September and your assistant's running the business, you can, anytime you grab a Wi-Fi connection, you can log in and see how the day's sales are looking. So that is the joys of Google Docs. All right, so right up here, if you have signed up for a Google account, you don't have to have a Gmail. I do, but you can just have a Google account, which is also free. Right up here, there's these little 9 dots. If you click on them, then you will see Drive is your option. Drive is where all the Google Office products are. And then, so of course, it opened mine. Oh, I hope there's nothing bad in there. Of course, it opened mine because that's what we're working in. And what we want to do is we want to create a new spreadsheet. So there's new. Mandy wants to know if you can move things from Excel to Google Docs. I would assume so, Mandy. I did a long time ago. And like I said, this has been something I've been doing forever and been using Google Docs forever. But I did use Excel back in the day. So I don't know if I recreated it or I imported it. But yeah, all these kind of programs that are the exact same but on different platforms, they're all pretty good at allowing you to convert from one to the other. Someone could put their foot down, but then it would really be drawing a line, and maybe you'll come back someday to Excel. Who knows? So they're all pretty good at doing that. All right, so we're gonna go new, and we're gonna go. It's called Google Sheets. So we're gonna go do a new Google Sheets, which is your spreadsheet. Oh, and Chris answered Mandy's question. Yes. All right. Cool, Chris. Thanks, Chris. All right, so let me, okay. So the first thing we want to do is column, we're going to do inventory first. So the first thing we want to do is go up to where it says untitled spreadsheet. And here, I'm going to make this bigger so it's bigger on the screen too. There we go. Okay, untitled spreadsheet, so we're going to call it inventory. Maybe. There we go. Inventory. And I'll just call this one inventory 2, because there I have an inventory. I don't want to mess it up. Okay, so column A1, or column A, row 1, is going to be our item. So let's type in the word item. Now, to move from cell to cell, if you hit the tab key, it'll bump you into the next cell. So column B is going to be size. Hit the tab key. Column C will be color. And column D will be price. So that's the price you paid for your goods. Now, I like to add a little pizzazz, a little razzmatazz. I think it's prettier. It's more eye appealing. So I want to color my headers. So the way you do that is you click in the first square you want, and then just drag to the end. So you can either go that way or down too. So we're going to click so we're going to come out here. We're going to click A1 and we're going to drag to the right. So A1, B1, C1, and D1 are all highlighted. All right, Deborah, where can't you figure out where to click? So don't forget, you guys are about 30 seconds behind me, 20 seconds behind me. So when I answer your questions or ask a follow-up, it does take a little bit a little bit of time. All right, while we're waiting for Deborah. So now that we have those 4 highlighted, well, of course, Mandy, you don't have to break out. So Mandy's want to know what if I buy 79 compacts and just want to do an average price cost and don't specify each one? You can. So if you don't want to keep track of them directly, figure out what your cost is, enter it once, and then copy and paste it 79 times. You should see how many items you're having. So never group things together. All right, so let's get back to making this pretty. So up here, you will see the text color. So let's change the text color to this pretty blue. And then over here is more. And right here is the fill color. That means your background color. So let's click on that. And we'll change that to, how about this yellow? All right. So I'm going to go back over to my text, and I'm going to bold it too. And maybe I'll make it a little bit darker. Much better. Okay. So there we go. Now we've made it pretty. To get to the spreadsheets template, you're in Google Docs. You're in, oh, my mouse just froze. Hang tight. Hello. Connection lost. Connected again. All right, there we go. Coolio. So we're up here. We're hitting Google Drive. And then you want to start a new Sheets. You're in Docs. Docs, I'm sorry, I was misusing that term. Docs is the Word program. So you want to be in Google Sheets. Sorry, I was saying Docs earlier. I meant Google Sheets. Okay. So here we are. We've got it all pretty. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to center my headers. And so I'm going to click on the number 1. And what that does is it highlights number 1 all the way across to infinity. So we don't have to click on each individual one. And then up here under more again, you're going to see this is our alignment. Right now it is left aligned. We could right align it, or we could center it. So I like a good centering. So just like that. All right. So let's say, for instance, oh, sure, I probably had a product handy. There we go. In this office, there's always products handy. Huh. Okay, let's see. I'm going to input these jeans, and these are silver tab baggies. Now, what I want to do is I want to have a sheet for each type of item. So see down here where it says sheet 1. We're going to click on this down arrow, and we're going to rename it, and we're going to call this jeans. Okay. Everybody with me so far? All right, so that's easy peasy. Now, before we start entering a whole bunch of stuff, it is best to now duplicate this many, many times, because you should have a jeans tab, and you should have a coffee mug tab, and you should have a bra tab, and a CD tab, or whatever you sell. You should have different tabs for each of your items, because on the other end, it's going to be easier to look up. So also, when you click on this drop down, you're going to click on duplicate. So now we have jeans and copies of jeans. So again, we're going to click the drop down, we're going to rename, and this one will be bras. And then we'll duplicate it again. And then this one we're going to rename as t-shirts. Okay. So that's how you keep doing that till you get all your columns, and you will forget something. So just go back and make a fresh one. All right. So here we go. So the first item we have is Levi's, because I'm just doing generic jeans. I'm not having a tab for Levi's and other jeans. I'm just doing generic jeans. So I'm going to type Levi's silver tab baggy, and then not for every product, but with the silver tab baggies, I have so many different ones. If you look down there, it's the pyramid logo with the white inner label. So that's going to kind of help me differentiate between all the other 42 baggies I have. So I'm going to write pyramid logo and white inner label. Now, normally you don't have to get that specific. And if you're not selling 10, 20, 30, 40 pairs of silver tab baggies, you don't have to worry about it. Okay, so we're going to hit tab, and we're going to go to the size, and the size on these is 3630. So 36/30. Now, as you can see, we can no longer see all of the available data in A2, which is what we just typed out. To fix that, you can do one of two things. You can click if you can see my mouse change to an arrow point to the right, that means I can click on this, the right wall of this column, and drag it as big as I want. So there, see that I drug it. Now, it's even easier if you just double click it, it'll automatically go to the biggest one. So if I just double click this, as you can see, it goes right to the edge of what I type. Now, if I type something longer, I would have to double click it again, but I can't imagine much anything longer than this. Yes, if you have 100 items exactly the same, do you add 100 lines? Yeah, if you want to see using this procedures, yes, you need to add 100 lines. Now, where I don't use it so much is in my CDs because I have them all behind me in an alphabetical inventory with their prices still on them. So it's the only thing I don't log in here. That one I just have to look at the end of the year. Okay, so our color now, the jeans come in light wash, dark wash, navy, black, and then a variety of colors. This one's kind of a dark wash, so we're gonna write dark wash blue. But then the price I paid was $3.99. Now, as you can see, that 3.99 is just a decimal. Let's make it look just like dollars, more pleasing to the eye. So this time we're going to click the letter D, and it's going to highlight the whole column going down. And when you highlight the whole column going down and you set a parameter, such as we're going to tell this that it's always going to be in the format of dollars and cents. Anytime you enter a number, it's always going to go to dollars and cents. So if you look right here at the top, you see the little dollar sign. It says format as currency. So if we click that, boom, now it automatically puts it in. So if we were down here and we put in our next thing and it's $4.50 and we hit enter, boom, see, it's automatically doing the price. Now, it automatically right aligns the price. And so if we want to center everything, again, we can click A, hold down and go A, B, C, D. So we've highlighted all our columns, and then up here we're going to center it. So everything is now centered. A little easier to read, but at this point, it is preference to you and your eye. Left align, right align, center, doesn't matter. Yeah, well, yeah. If you're in a foreign country like Mandy is, I don't know about the work because I've never lived in a foreign country. So at that point, I'll have to you'll have to check with someone in Canada because I never lived anywhere but the US. So that's all I got. All right. So oops. I put this in the jeans. So we're gonna jeans right now. Rename t-shirts. Okay. There we go. So let's say we got another pair of jeans. Let's say we got some NYCs, and they are, let's say, paint splatter. They are 32s, and they are a light blue. They were $5.99. Okay, so that is how you do that. Now, what's cool is spreadsheets, they learn you. So if we're filling in stuff, so let's say let's do another pair of jeans and let's do Kuji. Black with dragons. Hit tab. Put in the size 34, 33s. Tab. These are black. Tab. They were $5. And when you hit enter, as you can see, it jumped you back down to A5. It knows that you're only entering items in A, B, C, and D. So if you tab, and right at the end you hit enter, it'll learn what you're doing. And so once you learn the keys and the shortcuts, it goes so much quicker and smoother, especially when entering a lot of things. Yes, I will be sourcing in Europe, but I don't need to figure out the different currencies. I'll just convert it. I'm not going to convert, set the spreadsheet to convert. I will know that I have spent, let's say, $50 American because I'm going to charge as much as I can because then it'll automatically convert, and then I'll just divide it by the number of items from that store. Easy peasy. I'm trying to give you guys tips and tricks, make life as easy as possible for you. All right, so that is how you do it. So, of course, if we're over here in bras, say we got a cacique, and it is size 46 triple D, and it's beige. and it costs $1.99. Now, because we didn't set up a template with our dollars, we'll have to do it again. What I would recommend is set everything up, get it all squared away, then make that your template to duplicate. And again, we'll have to center this text because I like my stuff centered. Boom, there we go. Okay, so there you go. So there's your bras, your jeans, your t-shirts. What I recommend is having a miscellaneous category because we all have stuff we sell consistently. Mandy does compacts and teddy bears. I do tiki mugs and jeans and bras. But then there's that one rare thing, like I picked up a giant porcelain cookie jar. Well, I have only one porcelain cookie jar right now, or ceramic, probably ceramic. So I don't need an entire tab for cookie jars because they'll just kind of be a waste of space. So that'll be falling underneath my miscellaneous tab. Okay. So let us hop over to my current inventory just so you can see it fuller and in action, because obviously it'd be silly just to keep entering stuff all day long. All right, so here it is in action. And now here's what I'm going to teach you one of the best shortcuts that most you probably don't know. And this works for any page on anything on your computer. It is not just for spreadsheets. It would work on a web page. It would work on a document. It would work on if you're reading a PDF instruction manual. If you need to find a word anywhere on the page, no matter how big or how long or how deep that page goes, if you hit Command F, and I'm pretty sure it's Control F on a PC, this little window in the upper right-hand corner will pop up. So we'll do Command F and see where it says Find in Sheet. That means whatever you type and hit enter, it will find it on your sheet. So no matter where it is. So let me back out of this for a second. As you can see, I have a lot of t-shirts listed. So right now, let's see, I have 161 t-shirts. So if I go to sell one and I want to get rid of this out of my inventory, I could do this. And I'm going to show you how to alphabetize in a minute. But I'd rather just find it quick. So let's say I sold a Harley Davidson t-shirt. And all I remember is I sold a Harley Davidson t-shirt, and I abbreviate HD instead of writing out Harley Davidson. So I'm going to do Command F, and I'm going to type in HD. As you can see, it shows 1 of 13. That means in the t-shirts, I have 13 Harley Davidson shirts. Now it'll grab the first one, which as you can see is highlighted, HD Blue Springs. And then you can hit enter, and it'll keep going to each consecutive one until I see, oh, it was the Milwaukee Great Outdoors one. And let's do another one. So if I want to say, do I have any Hard Rock Cafe? Yep, I got 3 Hard Rock Cafes. So again, HRC, there is 3. And I hit enter, 1, 2, and 3. So that is the find function. So if you're reading a book on a website, or if you're just reading a long, like a news article on, say, CNN, if you're looking for a certain word, you're like, oh, they were just talking about so-and-so, just hit Control F and it'll show you all the places where it says that word or that name or whatever you're looking up. Now, Deborah, you're saying past et cetera. And where are you stuck? Are you not understanding it? Because I definitely want to make sure everyone understands this. But boy, when I'm having to find something on any page, the Control F or Command F, depending on what computer you're using, is so super duper easy to find stuff without scrolling. It is awesomely easy. Kind of works the same way if you use Quicken. You can find the last time you typed American Express bill, or you can also select all the times that American Express shows up and see them all. Yeah, it does have filter options. We are not doing filter today. Mandy, you are full of questions. No, we are keeping this very basic today. We are going to do, I want everyone to get up and running before we get to pie charts and sharing spreadsheets with each other. We want to definitely have the working knowledge so far. All right, so here's all my categories. So I have t-shirts, I have pants and shorts together because I don't do a lot of shorts. So I didn't feel there. I didn't feel there needed to be a shorts one specific. I put sweatshirts, jackets, and snowsuits together. I put all Hawaiians and button downs together, women's, and then I broke out dresses and PJs and scrubs. So and bras. So everything that's not a dress, not a PJ or scrub, or not a bra goes in women's, and then everything else goes into dresses, which I'm just starting to break out. Got my PJs and scrubs, got my suits and sports coats. I happen to do a lot of cowboy shirts. I'm kind of low right now, but I had a cowboy shirt category. Any shoes, men's or women, plush animals. And the plush animals, I didn't only needed 2 columns. Like you write up what it is and the price, and there's typically not size and stuff. And so you can edit these to, you don't have to follow the 4-column setup that I just showed you. It can be just 2 columns. Relax, Deborah. No pie charts. No pie charts. No pie charts. Don't worry about that. No pie charts right now. And then also I bought 180 pounds of Hawaiian shirts at one point. And so this is where I did an extra spreadsheet to myself. Don't worry about looking at this and learning it, but I broke it down by what I got. I just typed everything straight up. I didn't want to add it yet to my database because I wasn't sure if I was keeping it all, if I was going to vend some of it. But then I figured out my average, and it was $3 a shirt. And then so I kind of cleaned it up, but I left it there just because I'm lazy. And just thought I'd show you, you can make your own spreadsheets, whatever works for you. Excuse me. I got 2 giant boxes of clothing in the mail last week. I went through it last night. And again, I'm taking some of it to vend in a couple weeks. Some of it's getting donated and some of it's going to eBay. So just to get everything kind of checked in, so to speak, I just did one general spreadsheet for it. And then I'm going to add it to my normal spreadsheets once I decide what's coming back from my vending. There you go. Robert found out where to change the currency. So there you go. It can happen. So for those of you in other countries, if you click on the down wedge next to the 1, 2, 3, and then select more options and then other currencies, and you make your selection. So there you go. There is a way, and I knew there would be, but like I said, I've only ever had to worry about the American dollar. So that's what we're working on. Okay. So that is pretty much your spreadsheets. Now, the one thing I've never done, and I should do because I always had to figure it out at the end of the year, is you can add up the price column. So basically what you have tied up in t-shirts currently, what you have tied up in pants and shorts. And we'll come back to that, but I'm going to show you how to do formulas in your monthly sales spreadsheet, because that is the next spreadsheet we're going to work on. And that's the one that's the fun. That's when you can see your numbers, or not the fun, because if you see your numbers that you've never seen before, you might think, oh man, I got to get better at this because I'm not making any money. And funny enough, Teresa Cox and I were having that conversation earlier that some people in our circles, in our brethren, aren't making enough money because they're not charging enough, and they don't know how, they're not watching their fees. So it seems like they're doing okay, but they're really not. So this hopefully will put your overall money in front of you and let you be like, oh my gosh, I'm doing great, or oh my gosh, I stink, I got to get better. All right. So at this moment, any questions on the inventory spreadsheet, how to set it up? This one's pretty easy. There's not a lot to it. Now, as you can see, mine are orange and to a point. So orange, and these are white. So I'm a little off in my bookkeeping right now, but what I would do is I would enter new stuff like the day after thrifting. I sit down at my desk downstairs. I enter all the new stuff, prices and everything. And don't forget, if you buy stuff on sale, enter the price you paid, not the price it started at. I can't believe how many people I go thrifting with on sale. They have savers and it'll be 30% off. They're like, this is $10. I'm like, so they're basing their decision on 10. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's 7. You should always base your decision and your records on what you paid, not what it started at. Cobble, I do not enter the date purchase. I never did. And this is from a long, long time ago. I always thought it would probably be good if I had. That way you can see like, oh man, this has been around far too long. But hey, let's say we want to do that right now. And let's enter a column to the left of our description, shall we? All right, so let's get back up here. Where are we? There we go. Inventory 2. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I should probably finish what I was telling you. So what I would do is everything in orange is logged in and for sale. And then the white stuff is new stuff I logged in. Then once we get it for sale, then I switch it all to orange and I re-alphabetize it. But I'm way behind in paperwork paperwork as I throw up some air quotes. But Leia, let's add, if you want to add the date to which you purchased your item. Let's get rid of that for a second. Okay, let's left click, or if you're on an Apple, one finger, column A. Now let's right click or two finger till you bring up this little pop up. And right down here, it says insert one to the left. So let's do that. Boom. Now we got one to the left. And now we can call it date. And let's say we bought these things today. It is 2/26. And again, we do not need this column this big. So if we double click on it like I did, see it was this big. If I double click, it goes to just as wide as the widest data in that column. So that's how you can add the date. That's how you can add a column after the fact. So the good thing about spreadsheets, they're constantly flowing. They're like an amoeba. You can change and alter to your needs anytime you want. It does not need to be exactly what I'm showing you, but this is probably a good jumping off point for most of you. So again, if I want to shrink down column C here, boom, just double click, double click. I like my stuff tight. I don't like these big gaping spaces. I like all my stuff tight and neat when it comes to spreadsheets. All right. We're popping over to again, we're back here. We're going to start a new spreadsheet, so a new Google Sheets. And here we go on sales. All right. So again, pens and paper ready, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Okay. So date is our first column. So when it's sold, the item, cost of our item, the price it's sold for, plus shipping. So that is if we charge shipping or not. Actual ship costs, and our total. Okay, so the date again. So let me do my sales for today. Let me pop that up on my other computer. Let me do some of my sales for today. Okay, so today, 2/26. Oops. I sold a Craftsman blanket. I spent, where is it? I spent $6 on it. I sold it for $50. System only charged $9 shipping, and the shipping was $17. Whoops. Okay, as you can see, this does not look pretty. We now need to pretty it up a little bit. Do I make? Oh, yep, month to month. Ooh, what happened? What happened? All right, hang on. There might be a technical difficulty. Yeah, weird. Okay. Well, that would stink. Bear with me a second, everybody. I don't know what just changed here. Well, let's try and refresh. And I think we're back. All right. I think I'm back. I got to fix it down here now. Okay. So I should see. Sorry about that. It just disappeared. Like, I don't know what happened. Just poof, it was gone. Luckily, I noticed before I was too deep into something. All right, cool. There we go. Okay. So here we are back on our month. So yes, I do month by month. You want to know month by month how you're doing. You do not want to run a 12-month spreadsheet, month by month. All right. So up here, like we did before, we're going to title our spreadsheet the sales 2017. There we go. And let's pretty up the tops of our column. So we're going to click in A1. We're going to drag to the right till we've highlighted to G1. Let's do red letters. We'll bold it out on a black background. Looks all tough and mean. Plus, those are my high school colors. And then let's put it in the center. So there we go. And I'm going to sneeze. So hang on a quick sec. Come on now. Come on, sneeze. All right, it'll come eventually. Sorry when it does. Alrighty, and these are all dollar figures. I paid 6, it sold for 50. 9 was a shipping that I charged, 17 was the actual cost. And then our total is going to be a dollar too. So we're going to click on C1. Or I'm sorry, we're going to click on column C and then drag to the right so they're all highlighted, and we're going to click our dollar, our currency sign. Now all the currency is formatted. We can't read Craftsman blanket because the column is too short, so we're going to double right click, or we're going to double, excuse me, pause. We're going to double click on the far right wall of column B. Boom, boom. There it is. Now it's nice and big. And we're going to put everything in the middle. Now, if you want to highlight the entire spreadsheet, you click this little corner box right there. Boom. Whole spreadsheet is highlighted. And now we can center everything with one fall swoop. There we go. Alrighty. So there we go. Now, we want to shorten these columns that don't need to be wide. So goodbye, shorten down date and cost and price, and then these two. And you'll see why in a minute. All right. Here's where the secret sauce comes in. Formulas. You could take a calculator and take 50 minus 6 plus 9 and minus 17 and then type in a total. That's boring and a waste of your time. Okay, here it is. I'm going to go very slow. To start an equation, you're going to need the equal sign, so equals. We want to take D2. See D2 right here where it says 50? That is our price that is sold for. So we're going to equals D2. And we want it to minus D1, the cost of our goods. We want to add E1, how much we charge for shipping. And we want to subtract F1, how much it actually costs for shipping. And then hit enter. Oh, what did I do wrong? Oh, I'm sorry. That should be D2 minus C2. I used the wrong ones. Plus E2 minus F2. There we go. $36. Sorry about that, everybody. Okay, so that is your formula. Equals D2 minus C2 plus E2 minus F2. Then it automatically, if you whip out a calculator, you would still get the 36. Now let's go to the second item. Second item I shipped out today is, there we go. I did some Disney Mickey overalls, and they cost $3.50. Oops. I sold them for $20. I did not charge shipping, and shipping costs $6.30. As you can see, the Disney Mickey and Mouse overalls doesn't fit, so we're going to make B a little bit bigger yet again by double-clicking. Now, we do not have to type this formula in again. We're going to copy G2 and then paste it in G3, and that'll automatically change all those twos to threes. It's automatic. So highlight the formula cube, so G2, right-click, click copy, then go down to G3, right-click, and click paste. Boom. So as you can see now up here, it changed automatically all of it from twos to threes. I will pause there for a second, see if anybody has any questions. That is the joys of formulas. Because now, too, once you set this up, you don't ever have to do it again. All you got to do is plug in your data. Once you know how the formulas work and have the formulas set, data entry ain't hard. Anyone can do data entry. Look, Vicky and Nadine said that they have a creative brain, they're going to need it, etc. Yes, here's the difference, though. When you have an analytical brain, like myself for the most part, I understand the numbers and the spreadsheets, and you can't teach me to sing because I can't sing, and you cannot teach me to paint or be artsy because I'm not. But those of you who are artsy, you're artsy, so you got that covered. But with just a little how-to, I can teach you how to do a spreadsheet. So you got the best of both worlds. As long as you can learn, you're good. And here's the joy. Here's the ultimate joy of so Heather just said, so friends, we just learned the backup as our friend when doing this for real. Here's the ultimate joy of Google Docs. It automatically saves all the time. And so if you screw up anything or power goes out or whatever, it's there. And it's there instantly. So say I was doing this and someone was logging in someplace else that I've given permission to look at something, it's already changed. It's already automatic. So it's really, really nice. Can you calculate the entire row or only one by one? Well, hang tight there, Wilted. All right. So, and there are shortcuts to some of these things. I want to show you guys how to do it from like the way you should learn from the beginning. Because if I start teaching you shortcuts, you might get too screwed up. So, I like to have my spreadsheets run to column to the 500th row. Granted, most of us don't sell 500 items a month. Some of us do, but we definitely get closer at the holiday time. So let's copy this formula, and then we're going to highlight the next place we need to paste it. But then we're going to hold and drag down, and we're going to drag down until we hit number 500. Do 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 do. There's 500. All right, back it up a little bit. Okay, so now we're gonna hit. We're gonna right click and paste. So there, as you can see, these are all zeros because these columns have no numbers in them yet, so they're gonna be zeros. Mama X, don't jump ahead. Hang tight, everybody. You guys are all jumping ahead. Just hang tight. Only ask questions about what I just did. Of course, I'm going to add PayPal and eBay fees. Just wait. It's all magic. Just wait. All right. Now, what I used to do, and actually, Mom, that's a good thing. What I used to do is I would do the PayPal and the eBay and the Amazon fees per item. That's a lot of work. And then one day I'm like, well, duh, I can get that data at the end of the month. I can just plug it in once. So you don't need to do it on every item. Now, you can do it on every item. I highly recommend just doing it at the end of the month because you really don't need to know per item when you're doing like taxes and stuff. Okay, so the next step is we need to total all our columns. So total column C, D, E, F, and G. So again, we're going to start at the first one, click and hold, and drag on down. And this time we are going to stop at the 500, and we're going to now total it. And it'll automatically put it in the first space pass. So in this case, it'll be 501. So back it up here a little bit. I went too far. Okay, now it's all highlighted. If we click on more up here, this little squiggly E thing is functions, addition, subtraction, multiplication. We're going to click on the drop down and we're going to click sum. So it automatically says, okay, we're going to add G2 through G500. That's what that means. So you could have typed this out had you known it. Equals sum, parentheses, the first one you want to add, semicolon, to the last one you want to add parentheses. Now, you don't need to know that to type it. All you need to know is how the button works. So hit enter, and then there is how much we have made on these two items. Now, we need to also do the formula for C, D, E, and F, but all we have to do now is copy, just like we did before. Go over here and click and hold, drag till they're all highlighted, and hit paste. There we go. So as of right now, our cost of goods is $9.50. Our sales are $70. We charge $9 in shipping, and shipping actually cost us $23.30. Yes, so that's a good thing, Sabrina. If you're selling for someone else, wouldn't it be good to do on each one? Yeah, it would be. It is a lot more work, I will tell you that. So for those of you doing it on each one, you know how to look up the fees. So you add columns, and I can work if there's a core of you that need work on that. You know, it's just adding a couple more columns and a couple more numbers and letters to the equation. It's pretty simple to add in. All right, let's cruise back up to the top here. Now, after we've typed a few things, we don't see our column headers anymore. You're like, well, I forget. What am I doing? All right, that's super duper easy. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to click on number one. So the entire row is highlighted. And then we're going to click on, view and freeze. And we're going to freeze one row. Boom. Now, you can see this line underneath here got a little thicker. You might not have noticed that, but watch. If we scroll now, the top line never moves. Ta-da. Okay. So that makes it super duper easy to always know exactly what column you're working in as you go down your spreadsheet. All right. Now, here's where it all comes together. out here in H1, we're going to take our running totals from columns C, D, E, F, and G, put it all together, take out our monthly fees, and then we'll have the number for the month. Now, of course, that is the money we're earning. Now, of course, this doesn't count your gas to the thrift store or electricity in your house, but this is the basic breakdown of the goods you sold, what it cost those specific goods, what they sold for, and what you brought home. Gail said, "Oh my God, freeze! Where have you been all my life?" Now, I don't think it's called freeze on Excel. It might be called something else, but it's the exact same functionality. Sometimes, as you go from program to program, the words change, but it's the same idea. Okay, in H1, we are going to type cost. Oops, I'm on the wrong computer. Whoops. Okay, in H1, we're going to type cost. In H2, we're going to type sales. In H3 is plus ship. H4 is minus ship. Oops. And then we're going to subtotal that out. Then we're going to remove our minus PayPal fees, minus eBay fees, and minus Amazon fees. Now, if you are doing FBA and stuff, there's going to be a little bit more involved. I'm only doing merchant fulfilled, so this is basically for those of you who are doing merchant fulfilled. Oops, there we go. Okay, oh, it is freeze on Excel? Okay, thanks, Mandy. All right, so the cost of our goods would be C500. That is the total cost of our goods. And what I mean is, if we scroll down C all the way to 500, so far, we only sold two things, is $9.50. All you have to put over here is equals C500. Or not? Oh, I'm sorry. Equals C501 is the column below. Sorry about that. So we added up through 500, and then our total is in 501. So you don't have to go looking for that number. If you just type equals C501, it automatically takes that number and sticks it right up there. Thanks, Ken. Yeah, sorry about that. Same with sales. So if we do equals D501, we have sold $70 plus shipping equals E501, and then equals F501. Okay. So there we go so far. Alrighty. So, and then we got equals G501. So there it is. That shows you everything. Now we want to do a few more things to pretty this up. So let's make this stand out from everything else. So let's take a nice soft color for the whole background. So let's do a light salmon, shall we? That's very nice. I'm going to make the I want to make these all the headers the same color. So I'm going to click on the first one I want, and then just kind of drag down to the bottom. And let's make those purple. We'll bold it out a little bit. And we can leave our figures black, and we'll just bold them out to make them a little thicker and better to read. Okay. So no matter where you're at on this page, you want to see your fees. Oh, whoops. I forgot profit down here. We will get to that in a second here. So let me fix it up real quick. Boom, bold, fill, light salmon. There we go. Okay. Now, as you can see, as we scroll, this is all going bye-bye. So what we're going to do is we're going to freeze 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to freeze all the way down to row 9. So that way, our little corner there that shows all our figures in an instant is always frozen at the top. So let's click 1 and then scroll and highlight down to number 9. I'm going to go view freeze up to nope. Sorry about that. Mm-hmm. Maybe I do it this way. It's been so long. I guess I didn't practice this part last night. Now, did I? Oh, there we go. Freeze up to current row 9. So just select the last row you want frozen. So as we scroll, as you can see, it is scrolling, but this is always staying at the top. Okay. All right. So last is we're going to need to get our fees for all our things. Now, this is where I used to do it by the day. And so I would have to pause and get my eBay fees per item. And it was a lot of extra work. And then one day I'm like, screw this. I get my email at the end of the month. I just plug it in, boom, 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 all done and ready to go. So because there's a lot more data in my current monthly sales, let's pop over to this because it'll be easier to see. Okay. So here we are in February. Actually, we're going back up to January because that's where we're not done with February yet. Okay. So in January, I sold 1,000. The cost of my goods is $1,063.89. I sold 46.47. I charged $6.96 for shipping. The actual shipping cost for $7.92. So my subtotal I'm working off of is $30,488.65. All right. So now let's get our let's do our eBay fees first because they're the easiest one. You get a monthly email telling you your fees. If you've never read it, it's super duper easy, and then it's super duper easy to find it in your emails if you have 700 unreads like myself. So I know it comes from do not reply _billion at eBay. So I started to type that up. There it is. Boom, there's my invoice for January. Hey, look, $392.69. So over here, $392.69. As you can see, it changed my profit from what it was and knocked off $392. Okay. And Sherry asks, you cannot just freeze H1 through 9 and I1 through 9. If you froze columns and you were scrolling down, you wouldn't see them. So you want to now, if you find that it's too big to freeze all that, we can pop the profit up to the top corner there. So I'll show you how to do that too. So because actually I don't even do that on mine. If you can see here, see mine goes away. Bye-bye. But what we're going to do is, here's our profit. Our profit is in I10. So we can just go up here and go equal I10. And then boom, that is always in the upper right-hand corner. There you go. So Katie has a question. How do you set up a main page for sales that would show you a total on your cost, sales, fees, etc.? I'm not sure I understand your question, Katie. Because this is showing you the totals of your cost, your sales, your fees, etc. I mean, I think I'm missing your question because I'm showing you what I'm showing you is all that right now. So while you're clarifying that for me, if you pop over to eBay here, to PayPal, actually, let me log in without you guys watching me log in. That'd probably be best, what don't you think? All right, let me stop sharing here for a second. So I've just given everyone my login information. Oh, so Katie's saying a total of your sales each month for a year. You could, but it's super easy. Aaron, I'll show you in a second here. Let's go back to Sharon. Come on, get up there. There we go. You could, but whoops. Here's January. Boom, there's my sales. Here's December. Boom, there's my sales. It's all there. Yeah, you can make another spreadsheet. I hope you go nuts. I hope you guys make tons of spreadsheets. But it's so easy just to see this data. As you can see, I'm missing a little bit of data from December. It's so easy to see this data and just grab it by just going, okay, there's November, there's October. Okay. All right. So in PayPal, if you go to reports, nope, nope, nope. Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, I'm sorry. It's PayPal activity. Go to charts and graphs. Now, don't freak out. Don't freak out. It's just going to be, this is the quickest, easiest way to do it. And you see where it says right here, past 30 days. Click on that and then change it to the exact month. So you want January 1 through January 31. Submit. So you can ignore all your pies and graphs, but right there, there is your PayPal fees for the month of January. So that's the quickest way to do it, to break it out. So we'll go back over here to my sales and let's go back to January. So my PayPal fees are $180.96. So there is my PayPal fees. Yeah, can you click on the profit box so we can see the formula for that square? Yeah, hang tight. We will get there. We will get there. Okay, and then Amazon fees is your last fee to deal with, and that's a little wonky because anyone who sells on Amazon Merchant Fulfilled, you know they give you your payments in groups of 2 weeks, but they don't match up to the month. So right now it's February 17th through the 27th. Hey, where's the 28th? So what you do is you go to date range reports here at the top and you click generate report. And so this is, as you can see, the month of January is selected. So just click generate. Right here, it says in progress. I don't sell enough that it would take too long. So I bet you if you refresh, oh, there it is, download. So now it is downloaded to our database. Now, here's where we're going to upload a file like we did on the inventory. So let's go back here and we want to make a new spreadsheet. So we're going to put new spreadsheet and then we're going to upload that data. So we're going to click file, open, and then upload. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, oops. There we go. I'm going to take this file that just downloaded. I'm going to click it. Come here, buddy. And then drag and drop it right in here. Because I know that file coming down is a spreadsheet file. So boom, there it is. So now we've just generated a spreadsheet like we were creating before. Where's my fees? And we're actually going to do a little work here and we're going to add all this up. So we're going to click on the first one and we're going to scroll down to right below the last fee. And then go over here, our little squiggly E, and then click sum, hit enter. And there's my Amazon fees for the month, $196.25. So we'll go back over here and 196.25. There we go. Okay, so there you go. There it is for the month, 278. Now, it is real easy. We want to take our subtotal. We want to subtract our PayPal fees, our eBay fees, and our Amazon fees. So let's get rid of this, and I'll rebuild it. Okay, so our subtotal is in I5. So equals I5 minus our PayPal fees is in I6. The fees are in I7, and our Amazon fees are in I8. There we go. There is our fees. And that's it. That is it. Pretty cut and dried. That's how you build your two spreadsheets. It's 2 o'clock. I'm gone. Goodbye. Thanks, everybody. No, I'm just kidding. So that's how you do it. Now, there's filters and then there's graphs and everything else. And those are all advanced things that we can and will talk about in the future. But I know most of you were at below this level. So just to get you started, just to get your feet wet, and just to get you the feel of your data, this is the best way to do it. Now, one thing I wanted to show you is alphabetizing is pretty easy. So as I said, I have entered in these are all the stuff I entered in a while ago, and I haven't alphabetized it yet. And it's nicer when everything's in alphabetical order, at least in my brain it is. So you select a column. So we select column A. You click the drop down, and then you click sort sheet. Say that 3 times fast. A to Z, and then boom. Now, why is Tupac at the front? Because numbers always come first, and then it's just alphabetical from that point on. So there you go. So everything that was in before that wasn't alphabetized is now alphabetized. Super duper easy. And what happens is all these columns, B, C, and D, they automatically come along. And so column A is alphabetized, and then B, C, D just follow along. So it knew that to bring with it that Tupac, the pointillism shirt, it was a 2XL, it's red, and it cost $2. Officially 5 o'clock on the East Coast. Yes, it is. So yes, get into your rum right now. Do it. Do it. All right. So that is the 2 main spreadsheets I use all day, every day. It lets me see what I got, what I'm doing in sales, how I'm doing. And it kind of shows me, where I need to be. And so I hope that it was easy enough to follow along. Uh, you know, feel free, especially in this post in the Secret Beach underneath, to ask any questions. But this is one of those topics where you have to be very specific. So you can't just say how do I make that blue? Okay, what blue? You want a whole column blue? You want just a title blue? You want one square blue? So be very specific. It'll be easier for me, and I see a couple others who do quite well at spreadsheets can answer the question. So you got to come with the specifics if you're watching after the fact. So, like I said, once you get the inventory done and the monthly sales done, all you do, so here, I'll even show you on mine. I left the one blank, completely blank. So it's my template, and I call it template. So now, look, we're about at March, so let's do this. So, okay, I'm going to right click, I'm going to duplicate. I'm going to right click, I'm going to rename, and now this is March 2017. I'm ready to go. So in 2 days when March hits, I am ready to go. The one thing you're going to want to remember, if you sell something on February 28th and they pay for it on February 28th, yet you're shipping it out on March 1, that in my mind, and I'm assuming is an accurate assessment, goes in the February columns, not the March columns. Someone buys something March 1st and pays for it March 1st, and absolutely into March. But if it was bought and paid for in February, put it in February. Close your month out with the entire month of sales. Wouldn't it be easier to simply copy the item from the inventory to your sales so you won't have to plug in the item name and cost? You could, but what I do, and I'm glad you brought that up. Who is that? Chris? Yeah. So what I do is, actually, I know I got rid of this. Let me find something I got rid of. Yeah, that one's gone. Okay, so what I do is when I come over here, I'm like, all right, so say this Devo sold. Okay, I don't need the medium and the navy part anymore. I just need to know Devo, $5. So what I do is I just right click and delete. I come over to my sales, and I just put Devo $5. Because this is just telling you kind of what you sold. You can always go back and look at your data on eBay if you're confused. You don't need to write this really long item description. You don't need to write your 85 character title in this item, as long as you know what it is. So maybe I'll even expand a little bit, Dragonfly, but that's it. So I don't need to have medium. I don't need to have anything else. I just need to have what it is, the cost, and the date. Oh, cool. Ken says it turns out I had my about 80%. I had extra 20% I needed. Sweet. All right. Any other questions for those of you watching live? And how many do we have today? Well, we had 46 live. That's not too bad. About 10%, I guess. So that's not bad. I know a lot of you watch after the fact, and that's cool. The joys of watching in the moment, obviously, are that you can ask live questions. And so I want to thank Lola for helping me out as always. And let me see, get back to here. There we go. Oh, you're welcome, Mama. Yeah, I realized, I realized that I've been using my spreadsheets forever, and some of you who do spreadsheets, you might see this and go, "Gee, Jay, that's wrong. That's there's a shorter way." It's something I've been doing forever, and so of course I'm somewhat set in my ways, but it works, and it does show you overall kind of what you're doing. If there's a better shortcut, if someone's in the secret beach is a more Mac Daddy at spreadsheets, because I don't claim to be a Mac Daddy at spreadsheets. That's for dang sure. But if you're a more a Mac Daddy and you want to improve on something I've said today, I welcome it. Because let me tell you, uh, whenever I walk into any room, and those who've been with me in a room, you'll know this. I think I'm the king shit when I walk in that room. It's kind of the attitude and the air I have about myself. But, and here's the but, if I walk in that room and realize I'm not, oh man, I will shut up and listen and learn. Like if I'm sharing a room with John Lawson for most topics, he's way more above me. So I'm very much, this is going to shock you. I'll be quiet and sit in the back and listen. But I like to come in a room like I command it, and that's why I've always lived my life. But man, I will always listen because I've learned so much from. I watched John Lawson give the same speech 6 times, and why I've watched it 6 times. The first time I watched it for content, and the next 5 I watch it to be a better speaker. Because John holds the audience well in his hand, and I think I do well too. But man, I don't care how good you are; someone's always better, and you can always learn. So you should be learning always. You should always be learning. And so the reason I said all that is if someone in the group is way better at spreadsheets, and I'm sure there is, if you want to expand on anything I've taught, I am more than happy to listen and learn. I'm not going to say, nope, it's my way or the highway. Not at all. If there's a way to build a better mousetrap, I am all for it at all times of my day. I really am. I want to take as many shortcuts as possible. You all know I'm busy. You're all busy. I'm busy. I'm crazy busy. So anything I can do to shorten, if this thing takes 5 minutes, but now I can make him take 4:30. 30 seconds doesn't sound like much, but 30 seconds times a week, times a month, times a year, times a 20-year career of selling online, that's a lot of time. So don't look at it in the moment. Look at it overall. All right, let me see if there's any last questions over here. Yeah, Gail said, "Can I send you a screenshot of what I'm doing?" Sure, absolutely. Yeah, I'll take a look at it. One thing I will keep in mind, and I'll touch about this more in the group, but let's talk real quick about it. Part of the group is besides learning business better, is kind of making your life better, and depending on the way, more fun, lose weight. Uh, my best friend from high school and I had a falling out exactly 6 years ago this week. And guess who's having dinner tonight? Me and him. So we talked a couple months ago, and I'll give you the whole story if you ever want to hear it. It was nothing to do with me, and usually I'm the one that messes up and people get mad at. This was nothing to do with me. It was him and his new wife who did not like me, who does not like me. But he reached out 2 months ago and decided to bury the hatchet, and I realized then that I could stay mad, but a lifelong friendship should not be lost if the fence can be mended. So tonight dinner is mending that fence, and it's all part of being a better person and making your life better. So eloquent, wasn't that eloquent? So keep that in mind. You learn how to do spreadsheets so you can keep better track of your numbers. You learned how to buy Christmas CDs and make more money. So we've learned about compacts to buy and make more money. We've learned about what we should be telling our accountant thanks to Anna. So all these things are making our business better. And then I always want to bring the fun and make our life better too. So we're going to talk about fun. We're going to talk about life's too short on some things. Some things aren't repairable. I will admit that. And you all know some of the problems I've had with some of the people in our circles. Some things are not repairable, but some things are. So when it can be, do it. Absolutely do it. Please. You'll get one chance on this ride, I feel. Own it. Own it. Get to the end. Take that last breath and go, yep, I did it. I did it all. I enjoyed life to the fullest. I enjoyed my relationships. I built a great business. I helped a lot of people. Whatever it is, and make sure when you're checking out, you don't go, "Hi, shit." You don't want that. All right, so that is spreadsheets. I think we did pretty good. Like I said, any questions, feel free to pop them into the post. Please don't start just a new post, because the best thing to do, and in any group on any topic, if you start a topic, don't then start a new one to say, oh, hey, this sold. The best thing is you're telling a story. The story should have the start, the middle, and the finish all together. So always keep it together. So the post specifically for this surf report, let's keep the questions down there, and I'll be more than happy to answer any of them. Mama X wants to know if there is another webinar coming soon. There is always another webinar coming soon. Excuse me. Our next webinar will be our, hold on a sec. Our next guest, and our next guest, it'll be a motivational guest. One that if you have not heard the story, it'll blow you away. And it'll make you really put into perspective your life, your ills. And look, I'm always going to talk in general terms. So what ails you does not always necessarily ail me, and mine's not worse nor better than yours, but maybe there is someone worse than you. And we're going to talk to that person who is not worse than you anymore because he's back to living life. And there was a point where that wasn't happening. And so with that, I'm also going to share my story where I almost lost my life about 10 years ago. I at least almost lost my arm, but I was very close to losing my life. And those things can have profound effects on our life. And had I not got the infection I got and it almost killed me, we all wouldn't be here today. We wouldn't. And so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about dealing with the shit that life deals you, and try and figure out how to deal with it. Now, it's not always possible or easy. Usually it's never easy. But we're going to have a guest who has had a story that most mortals would have been, I'm out. And he was close to that, but luckily he didn't. And so now, he's excelling at his life. So that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to give you motivation. And this hopefully too will be like, on that day, you're like, man, I just had a crappy week. I didn't sell much. My kid's a pain in the ass. I stubbed my toe. And then you think about others who have had it way worse in terms of just life or health. And you're like, man, that toe ain't no big thing. Jason almost lost his arm. So always keep in perspective the other person. Not everyone's in your boat, but there could be someone in a boat way worse, and they're figuring out. So you should too. Yep, and it is definitely Tim. For those of you know Tim, it is definitely Tim, and Tim Taylor. And for those of you who don't know, you will meet and learn all about Tim next month. And then also, actually, we're having two guests because next month is how to hire an assistant. And don't be freaked out, like pie charts. Don't be freaked out. People hear hire an assistant, they're like, I can't afford that. I saw that today in the thrifting board, I'm pretty sure. Well, you can, because an assistant doesn't have to start as a full-time employee with benefits. Hell no. Mine doesn't work more than 20 hours a week, but actually she's getting more time because I need her more. But you can have an assistant that works 3 hours a week. But that 3 hours equals 3 man hours that you don't have to do, but actually equals probably about 5 or 6 when you look at what gets done and then what you can do with that. So that's what we're going to talk about for my webinar for March. I don't have the dates yet, but I'll get you guys the dates very soon. But I wanted to get February wrapped up. And then we'll have some bonus YouTube shows coming up and everything. So as usual, tons of fun coming up. And that's it. Oh, hey, I just sold something. Yoo-hoo! Just sold 2 books for $30. Yay! All right, guys, questions, pop them in the group, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. Like I said, dinner tonight, but I'll be around all day tomorrow. All right? We need a little end greeting, a secret beachcomber greeting. We'll have to figure that out. So maybe we'll have a fun little contest or something. All right, I'm out of here. Shaka bra. Bye-bye.